President Moon Jae-in will take flight again, this time to tour the Southeast and South Asian region. The Liberal leader's state visit to Singapore and India comes in a matter of weeks since returning from Russia. Our chief Cheongwadae correspondent Moon Connyoung starts things off with what's planned during this diplomacy tour.
Less than 3 weeks after championing his new northern policy in Russia late last month, South Korean President Moon Jae-in will be in Southeast and Southern Asia this weekend, first with his eyes set on the world's fastest growing major economy.
President Moon Jae-in will make state visits to India and Singapore from July 8th through the 13th for 6 days and 5 nights.
At the invitation of Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the South Korean leader will be in India from the 8th through the 11th, during which he'll meet with Indian President Nath Kovind and hold a bilateral summit with Prime Minister Modi to strengthen the two countries' special strategic partnership and discuss ways to expand their future-oriented relationship.
South Korea and India mark 45 years of diplomatic relations this year. Our two countries have developed and continue to develop key partnerships not only in economic relations but also in our pursuit of peace and prosperity on the Korean Peninsula and the international community.
The latter half of his 6-day South Asia tour will take President Moon to South Korea's second biggest trading partner among the ASEAN, Singapore. There, at the invitation of the President of Singapore, Halima Yacob, he will meet with both the Singaporean President and Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong. Mr. Moon is also scheduled to deliver a speech to leaders from Singapore's politics, business, government, academia, and media.
Dubbed the Singapore Lecture, the President plans to detail his vision and policy direction for denuclearization and permanent peace establishment on the Korean Peninsula, as well as the new Southern Policy, which aims to elevate our government's cooperation with the ASEAN to a whole new level.
The South Korean president's state visits to these two countries are significant in that his trip to India will mark the first time for the president to visit the South Asian region as president, and Singapore as the chair of the ASEAN this year. Now, analysts believe the state visits will provide an opportunity for South Korea to propel forward its new Southern policy in full swing, and also provide an opportunity for President Moon to seek consensus for his peace agenda on the Korean Peninsula and expand its diplomatic horizon. Moon Connyoung, Arirang News, the Blue House.